Yes, we Pinoys are generally one day millionaires. That might not be true to a very few people, but majority speaking, yes, we are one day millionaires. So you have your payday, you have your salary of how much? In 15 days, you receive about 7,000 or maybe a little bit more or a little bit less. What we do is to go to the nearest restaurant and splurge, spend so much, or probably spending as much as 1,000 for only one meal. That's the Pinoy nature. Why? Well, the Pinoys love and want to be happy. So aside from the fact that they love to eat, they want to be happy. And so they go out. Why not? They have money at the moment. They go out and spend their money. Sometimes good only for a day. And so the following day, what happens is there goes the bad habit of borrowing, borrowing money because you already spent all your income, 15 days' income, in one day. That's not good. We know that. And that is why we wonder why the Philippines until now is still poor while other Asian countries are already on the top of the list of the richest countries in the world. We are still at the bottom, struggling because we Pinoys have very poor money spending habits. We have not learned to save. We have not learned how to budget properly. So probably you say, count me out. I'm not one of them. Well, congratulations for being such a different Pinoy, for having that kind of discipline. We need more of your kind. But how about the majority of the population who still have to learn how to budget the money? In the first place, they would say, what is to budget? There's very little money to budget. What is there to budget? So we better spend it and be happy for a few hours and then probably suffer for the rest of the month. Now, this is one thing also that we need to correct as Filipinos if we need to progress, if we need to improve our lot, if we need to improve ourselves and eventually our country, the whole country, because it starts with each and every Filipino applying discipline on themselves, on their spending habits, for instance, because we Pinoys, when we have the money, we want to shop. Apart from the fact that, first of all, first in the list, when we have money, is to hit the restaurants and eat. That's number one in our list, eating. I do not know why we associate happiness with eating. It's always the case. When we have a guest or when we have a celebration, we go out. I think it's true all over the world. It's true in all the cultures that happiness is associated with eating, celebrating, etc. is associated with eating. Well, there's nothing wrong with that because we need to eat at least 3 times a day. But the thing is, we should be able to control how we spend our money, how much we spend, how much are we supposed, how much can we afford to spend considering our income, the money that comes in, let's say weekly, or are we paid every 15 days, every month? Then we need to know where each and every peso will go. That is what it is supposed to be. um, some accountants would even suggest, why don't you have a notebook where you could keep track of all the expenses? Okay, so this is your money, and then list down all the expenses. Now that is work, and that's a task that not many Filipinos would money. You start out with this amount and it ends after a couple of days. There's nothing to spend. And so this is the reason also why many Filipinos are in debt. They have this sort of debts. Sometimes they resort to loan sharks, 5, 6, and then who goes to them every payday. And so that's also one reason why there's nothing left, because you spend, you eat, and then with a very little money left, you have to pay the loan sharks, the 5, 6 Indians who go to you every time you get your salary. We need to learn a lot here in the Philippines. Now we wonder why we are still at the bottom, because according to them, after World War II, we are actually on the same level as Japan, Korea, China, and all the other Asian countries. And look where they are now. They're right there, especially China. There's no stopping China from being number one economically. And the Philippines, you ask where the Philippines, we're still at the bottom. So there is still a lot to learn. There's still a lot to learn about how we do things here in the Philippines, why we are still at the bottom. Because number one, we don't know. We Filipinos, individually speaking, don't know much about budgeting and how to spend our money, little money. Okay, so there you go. That's another fact that you have to learn when you come to the Philippines. You see families going to restaurants, enjoying themselves, being happy, going to the mall, shopping, and then you are probably thinking, are these Filipinos rich? Because look at them, they shop left and right. So the answer to that question is no, we are poor, but we just want to. So we resort to credit cards. Okay, some people have credit cards, so many credit cards which they use to shop. Okay, so credit cards are also credits. They're debts and loans which you need to pay. So that's another thing that pushes us down. Having all of these credit cards, according to Oprah Winfrey, if you want to improve your life, if you want to become a bit richer, destroy all your credit cards, because these are the ones that actually are the cause of poverty and of all the problems regarding finances that people are suffering. Usually our problems are rooted on money. The lack or the absence of money will give us so many problems, and that's the truth. So please, I should also tell myself this: we should go slow on the spending. We shouldn't be one day millionaires to think about the future. There's such a thing as the future. We need to eat in the future. We need to go to school in the future. We need to do this and that in the future. And God forbid, there's such a thing as, you know, failing in health. You might get sick. So you should have some money stashed away for the rainy season. So this is all for today. Again, this is Glenda from the Philippines saying mabuhay.